to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm the one who issued the temporary protection order in this case based on allegations that Ms. Paz drove her vehicle towards Ms. Shearer and some other people and then made them jump out of the way and circled around them. And I believe I read that there is an active investigation. I believe I don't know, Sheriff's Office or Olympia Police was called, Ms. Shearer, which one?
What was your question?
What law enforcement agency responded?
Lacey. I spoke to Sergeant.
And is there an ongoing investigation? Has it been
closed?
Yeah,
they were going to send it to the prosecutor's office because I already have a protection order against her daughter for an assault.
Right.
And they were going to let the prosecutor decide what to do in this matter.
Okay. Do you know if that's happened?
I know that they sent it to the prosecutor. I've not spoke with the prosecutor yet. They said that they were sending it to the prosecutor, and if the prosecutor found it a violation of the protection order, they would have a warrant out for Alana's arrest.
Okay. All right, but right now we're talking not about Ms. Woodward, we're talking about Ms. Paz.
No, I know. I'm just telling you that's all I know about that.
Okay.
May I speak, Your Honor?
The investigation, the police investigation involved Ms. Paz or Ms. Woodward or both?
The police investigation that showed up on the scene said that he understood I could not see them in the middle of the road because of the darkness. It wasn't until I saw them with my headlights that I was able to see them.
Okay, yeah, that's not my question. My question, Ms. Shearer, is your understanding as to the referral to the prosecutor's office was concerning Ms. Paz or concerning Ms. Woodward?
I think both. Okay. I'm not really sure.
Okay. All right. Well, since I'm going to take these one at a time for Ms. Paz, since you're before me now, and Ms. Woodward, if you come when I ask you to participate, there is the possibility that the matter may be at the Lacey prosecutor's office for consideration. And I will indicate to each of you that you have been, for Ms. Paz now, I've placed you under oath. Anything you say could be used against you in a criminal prosecution. And if you were to have an attorney with you right now, since there is the possibility of a criminal prosecution, I don't see a charge yet having been filed. But if there is the possibility of a criminal prosecution, I'm quite confident that an attorney would tell you, do not say anything.
Okay.
Because you run the risk of hurting your interests if a criminal charge is ultimately filed. So for right now, since it's Ms. Paz that's before me, Ms. Paz, you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you have any question about that?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm not telling you can't say something. I'm letting you know that given what I've been told, there is the possibility at least of a criminal charge, and you would run great risk if you say anything at all.
Okay, my intent, all I know is my intent was not to run anybody over. I pulled in, I thought I saw my daughter by the mailbox. I went to go to loop around, and as I was looping, I noticed there were people in the middle of the road. It was pitch black. Was not my intention. I didn't even know Jamie was in the road until I parked my car and heard her. So my intention was not to hurt anybody.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Briefly, Ms. Shearer.
Okay, the speed limit is 5 miles per hour and it's posted all through the complex. She should not have even been driving 20 or 30 miles an hour towards anybody to begin with. And
did Ms. Paz say anything to you upon exiting the car?
Yep. I said, that's Alana's mom. She goes, yep, sure is. Just like that. That happened, I swear.
I don't recall that.
Of course you don't.
Okay. I don't want you speaking to one another. You're only speaking to me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Ms. Shearer, tell me what's been why do you and Ms. Woodward have this beef going on? What's the underlying story there?
We were friends, and then one day she started sending me awful messages on Facebook Messenger. And because I didn't give her the response that she was wanting, she showed up at my front door with my children present in my home. She busted through my front door when I opened it because she said she just wanted to have a conversation. And then she proceeded to assault me on my living room floor, beat the crap out of me, giving me a moderate concussion, a bloody nose, bruises all over my body in front of my 1-year-old son and my 14-year-old son, who was begging Alana to get off of me. And the neighbor had to come and pull her off of me. I did not even touch her.
That is not true, Your Honor. There are multiple.
Okay. Yeah,
That is
I
true.
haven't asked you anything yet, Ms. Woodward.
Yeah.
That is true.
And is that what the police report was filed on? Was it that, or was it the driving incident?
The driving incident.
Okay, now let me ask, this is to Ms. Shearer.
Oh,
There were police reports for both incidents, and Alana was charged for the assault that she did on me. And yes, it happened. And since then, other neighbors are threatening to assault me because of Alana. I don't even feel safe in my home now. They're trying to force me out of my apartments.
Okay. All right. So you currently have a protection order against Ms. Woodward, and that
Mhm.
order expires next July.
Mhm.
Okay.
may I say something, Your Honor?
Let's pause. Yes, go ahead.
The reason for me being there was my 4-year-old grandson was being bullied by me, sent home crying while she was screaming at the other kids in the complex.
So
So I
her
went to
4-year-old grandson was
Okay.
not present.
Ms. Shearer, do not say a word unless I ask you a question, please. You sit and listen. That's all you do.
The reason for me to go there was to assist my daughter in calling the sheriff's department in order to figure out what we could do for her screaming at all the kids in the neighborhood for the last 2 weeks. Because once this thing happened with her and my daughter, everything was fine. The kids played fine. We all played at the park together. Nobody said a word to anybody for at least 2 months, a month. And then within the last 2 weeks before this incident, my grandson had came home about 4 or 5 times crying that she was yelling at everybody not to play with him. He's 4 years old. He doesn't understand. We just didn't know what else we could do when somebody is screaming at a
Okay.
4-year-old.
All right. Thank you. And Ms. Paz, do you live in the same unit, or you were just there visiting your daughter?
I was just going there because my daughter was going to call the police. I live at a different residence.
Okay.
I only go there to assist my daughter. I barely even see Jamie.
Okay. Ms. Paz, I have continued the temporary order that I previously entered in this case. You're to have no contact with Ms. Shearer or her children, and not harm them in any way, and you are ordered to stay 10 feet away from Ms. Shearer and her children, and 10 feet from their residence, 10 feet from the vehicle owned by Ms. Shearer, and 10 feet away from her children.
Understand, Your Honor.
This order will be in effect for 1 year from today's date. Ms. Shearer, if you need to have it renewed, you'll have to petition the court at that time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Paz. Tell me briefly why you think you need a protection order.
Been so many situations. This protection order is more for my children than it is for me. Of Jamie bullying my son, yelling at my son, like my mom said. He'd come home crying on multiple occasions. I'm normally outside with him. I just stay on the back porch or on the front porch because anytime I'm anywhere else located in the apartment, this is seems to be very triggering for Miss Shearer. She's tried to call the police for multiple occasions. The police have told themselves that I should get a protection order against her. My attorney has told me to get a protection order against her because the things that she's been doing should not be okay. They should not be allowed. My son, like my mom said, is only 4 years old, and I've tried to explain to him multiple times about, why this is happening and everything, but an adult should not be able to bully a 4-year-old the way that she does. She also yells at the neighbors' children. All of the parents are too scared to say something to her. One of them has tried to say something to her the other day, and Jamie was screaming at her in the parking lot, as well as her son, for just simply playing kid. He's not allowed to just, live freely in our apartment complex because of her. And I just don't know what else to do other than to get a protection order for him so she can, or I don't know what party is, but bullying other children in the neighborhood who are not even her own, if they play with my son or, are kind to my son, they're not allowed to play with her children, and her children have to come inside. She's like causing this big thing in our apartment complex, and it's just getting ridiculous. And these are all children, and she's a grown
Okay.
doing this.
All right, thank you. Ms. Shearer.
Hi.
Anything you want to say about the allegation that you've been speaking to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would
Child.
never yell. I would never yell at a 4-year-old. That is crazy. Also, who is she to say how I act around kids when she beat me up in front of my children? So,
Okay,
first of all,
that's
I
not
want
the,
to tell
that's the
you,
point.
I want to
Ms.
tell
Shearer.
you,
Ms. Shearer, stop.
I'm trying to
Answer
tell
my
you.
question. No, okay, my question is, do you have contact with Ms. Woodward's children? I'm not worried about Ms. Woodward. I'm just asking her children.
No, in fact, my nephew plays with her child, and that's fine. But tell me why my 15-year-old and 10-year-old would want to play with her kid. There is absolutely no way they even want to play with her 4-year-old. She's like trying to force it to happen. And the other neighbor kids don't play with her kid over my kids because they've been friends with my kids for the 8 years we've lived here. We've lived here longer than she has. So I don't tell the other kids not to play with her kid. I tell them not to play with my kids at the same time as her kid. And as a mother, that is within my right to not have her children or anyone associated with her around my children after the assault. I don't want anybody in her family or in her circle to associate with my family. In fact, I have a protection order against Alana, which involves my kids, so she shouldn't be nowhere near my kids. And Alana came
Okay.
into my parking lot near my home the other day. She doesn't stay away from my home.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And when her kid says hi, I say hi. I'm nice to him.
No, you're not. He doesn't say hi.
Stop.
You're not supposed to
You're
talk
not
to me. We have a
talking.
protection order. I just want them to leave
All
me
right.
alone.
So, Ms. Shearer, I have ordered that you have no contact with Ms. Woodward or her children.
That's fine. I haven't contacted her
Okay,
since she
okay.
assaulted me.
Just listen to me, please. You're to have no contact with Ms. Woodward or her children. Those are the only restrictions on this order. This order will be in effect for 1 year from today's date, Ms. Woodward. If you need it renewed, you have to come back to court and ask for that. You both are present here. Ms. Shearer, you've heard what the restrictions are, that you have no contact with Ms. Woodward or her children.
I already
And
don't, so that's fine
a
with me.
copy of the order that I've signed will be available to each of you if you wish to get a copy of it through district court, but it does not need to be served since you're both present. All right, thank you both.
Your Honor, may I ask a question, please?
What's the question?
Why is she getting a protection order when she assaulted me? That's insane.
No, because of the allegation that you've had contact with her children over her.
I haven't.
Okay, well, she said you did. So I hear he's, okay, I'm not arguing. Miss Sure, you'd have this tendency to argue all the time. I've listened to the two of you. I've made my decision. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
May I please keep my kids from her children?
Miss Shearer, goodbye.